children and dogs are loved unconditionally, a man is only loved if he provides, if he performs, if he produces. And the second he stops doing that, the world turns cold. The support dries up, and suddenly he's invisible because as a man, your worth isn't in who you are, it's in what you give. And if you forget that, you'll die waiting for love that was never meant for you. Stay primal. Everyone wants your strength, but no one checks your silence. You carry the weight, laugh when you're dying inside, and keep showing up. No one asks how you're holding up because they expect you to. That's the burden of being the backbone. But bones crack in silence too. So if you're walking alone, just know this. You're not weak. You're just walking a path no one else is built for. Stay primal. Let them throw chaos, pressure, lies, betrayal. Your response is stillness. No emotion, no reaction, no explanation. Just presence, like stone in the storm. Because the world watches for weakness, and the beast reveals nothing. So, hold the line. Don't flinch. Don't move. Be the statue, unshaken, unseen, unbreakable. Stay primal. You'll hit the point where nothing makes sense, where your body's done, your mind's screaming, and the silence is heavy. That's the breaking point. But if you stand there and don't fold, something changes. You stop needing reasons. You stop needing comfort. You just push. That's when the beast wakes up. That's when you break through. Your limit wasn't real. It was just fear in disguise. Stand up. Breathe deep. Keep going. Stay primal. I'm battered and bruised, cold, hungry, and afraid. But still I climb. Not because I'm fearless, not because I'm strong, but because quitting would kill me faster than failure ever could. And if I have to bleed every step of the way just to reach 1 inch of higher ground, then so be it. Because even if the world breaks me, I'll rise through the wreckage. Stay primal. They lied to you, used you, pushed you until the warmth inside froze over. So now you don't explain, don't chase, don't feel, because every scar became strategy and silence became strength. And they can call it heartless if they want, but you know the truth. Pain made you numb, discipline made you dangerous, and cold made you unbreakable. Being cold doesn't mean you're bitter. It means you've learned not to waste energy on what drains you, not to explain yourself to noise, not to flinch when things fall apart. Because cold isn't hate, it's control, it's peace in the storm. And while they react, you remain, unshaken, focused, sharp, not broken, just done pretending. Stay primal. Complacency doesn't scream, it whispers. And that's what makes it deadly. because it tricks you into thinking you're safe, thinking you've done enough, thinking the work is over. And while you relax, soften, and slow down, the world sharpens its teeth. And one day you wake up behind, broken, irrelevant, and out of time. Not because you failed, but because you stopped moving. Stay primal. Debt doesn't kill you all at once. It breaks you slow, ruins your sleep, steals your options, controls your future, and turns every decision into a prison. And most people live in that cage forever, calling it normal. But if you want real freedom, you don't beg for it. You claw your way out of every dollar you owe and never go back. Because peace isn't bought, it's earned. Stay primal. Depression doesn't care about your plans or your goals. It shows up, it stays, it drags you down, and it whispers lies until you believe them. But if you ever want to take your life back, you can't wait to feel good. You have to move while you're numb, rise while it hurts, and win without applause. Stay primal. Regret is worse than death, because death ends you. But regret follows you into the grave. And imagine standing at the edge of your life, being shown everything you could have become, the business you didn't start, the weight you never dropped, the discipline you ran from, the lives you didn't impact, and the man you could have been if you had just done the work. And hearing one final truth whispered back to you, that version was who you were supposed to be. Stay primal. Most people chase comfort like it's a reward. But out here, the jungle don't care if you're tired. Discipline is survival. Silence is the forge. You train alone. You bleed alone. Because comfort makes you weak, and weakness has no place in this tribe. Every rep, every sacrifice, it's war, not for applause, not for validation, but because the voice in your head demands more. So stay cold, stay focused, stay primal. Don't block the haters. Feed them. Because they're not here to stop you. They're here to witness you, to obsess, to refresh your page while pretending not to care. And the harder you win, the quieter they get. So let them stay, let them watch, and let them drown in the silence of your success. Stay primal. No one made their dream real by wishing. They built it with blood, sweat, and scars. And while some had it easier, most had to grind when others quit, stay late when others clocked out, show up when others made excuses. And when people slept, they worked. When people partied, they planned. When others gave up, they went into overtime. Because success isn't luck. It's created by relentless effort and smart execution. And if you're just dreaming, you're not working. So ask yourself right now, did I take a step toward that dream today? Or did I just fantasize about it? Stay primal. You can steal the high now through dopamine, food, shortcuts. or you can earn it through work, through silence, through suffering. Because one fades fast and leaves regret, but the other lasts, and no one can take it from you. Stay primal. You were taught to chase jobs, clock in, clock out, beg for raises, but you don't need to be in the system to make money, because money moves through skill, speed, and leverage, not just time. And the ones who win aren't working harder. They're thinking sharper, owning their hours, building in silence, and making moves the system never taught them. Stay primal. You're gonna lose faith. Faith in the plan, in the purpose, in yourself. And some days, nothing makes sense. Nothing feels worth it. And the fire that used to drive you turns to smoke. But that's when it counts. Because strength isn't built on belief. It's built on action when belief is gone. So keep walking, even in the dark. And trust that the path only shows up to the ones who keep moving. Stay primal. Fast pleasure is slow death, because every scroll, every skipped workout, every "it's just one time" is carving away your edge until one day you wake up, soft, anxious, and behind. And by then you won't be able to undo it. You'll only feel it. Stay primal. Some people think you're crazy for not following the crowd, for not chasing what everyone else wants, thinks, buys, posts, or worships. But what's even crazier is living like a mindless drone, walking a path that's not yours, calling that safety when it's really surrender. So call me crazy, but I'd rather walk alone with purpose than rot in a herd built to die silent. Stay primal. If you've been in hell so long you can't feel the fire anymore, then maybe you're not burning. You've become the flame. Because pain that doesn't hurt is no longer pain, it's power. And if you've survived the worst without flinching, then you're not weak, you're forged. So stop waiting for comfort and start using the numbness as proof you were built for more. Stay primal. It doesn't start with chaos. It starts small, with a shortcut here, a distraction there, one bad habit that doesn't feel like a threat. But day by day, it grows, it roots in. And by the time you realize what's happened, you're not in control anymore. It is, because addiction doesn't come screaming, it comes whispering. And the little things you repeat become the cage you can't break. Stay primal. You're tired, you're sore, nothing's happening. So just quit. Walk away. Rest like they all do. Because staying in it is hard, painful, lonely. And that's exactly why you should stay. Because this pain is the price. And no one gets the crown without the crawl. Stay primal. push it off again. Tomorrow's always there, right? You'll start next week, next month, next year, and by the time you realize tomorrow didn't come, you'll already be behind, bitter and broken, wishing you'd moved when it mattered. Stay primal. Money isn't just paper, it's power. And if you don't learn how it works, how it moves, how it manipulates, you'll chase it like a slave and still stay broke. Because money doesn't fix ignorance, it feeds it. And if you don't have discipline behind the dollars, they'll vanish the moment they come. So study the game, learn the system, or be owned by it. Stay primal. Hate is just noise from people too scared to try. Too soft to grind, too broken to build. And if their bitterness reaches you, good, let it. Because it means you're rising, it means you're visible. And if their words burn, then turn that burn into fuel and make sure the next thing they hate is how far ahead you are. Stay primal. Stop trading hours for scraps. Because real wealth comes from leverage, not labor. From writing code once and selling it 1,000 times. From building a course that teaches while you sleep. From music that pays long after the beat stops. From systems, skills, and content that don't clock out. So stack your value, multiply your effort, and make your hours echo beyond today. Stay primal. Lust doesn't show up with warning. It shows up disguised as pleasure, as power, as escape. But the truth is, it drains you, weakens your edge, fogs your mind, and steals the focus you need to build your legacy. And if you keep chasing what never fills you, you'll lose everything you could have built. Not because you weren't strong, but because you weren't disciplined. Stay primal. Lust is the enemy in disguise. It steals your edge, kills your focus. You think you're chasing pleasure, but really, you're leaking power. Every scroll, every stare, every cheap hit. It drains you. Kings don't beg. Warriors don't chase. Control the beast inside or be controlled by it. You don't need more bodies. You need more discipline. Transmute the urge into fuel. Let the hunger sharpen you. Master yourself. Stay focused. Stay dangerous. Stay primal. Maybe you're just not built for this. Not for the pain, the grind, the discipline. Maybe you're meant to stay soft, stay average, stay invisible. But if that idea makes something in you want to fight back, then prove it wasn't true. Stay primal. He's not gone. He just stopped talking. Too many days of being ignored, judged, or laughed off for feeling too much. Now he's silent, but not soft. He's not weak. He just learned that strength in this world means hiding pain so deep even you forget it's there. But ghosts don't rest forever. And silence always echoes back. Stay primal. Money doesn't make you strong. It reveals if you ever were. Because if you get it without discipline, it owns you. And if you chase it without purpose, it breaks you. But if you earn it through silence, control, and grind, it becomes a tool, not a god, not a goal, just a weapon in the hands of someone who doesn't need it to feel powerful. Stay primal. Most people never think. They react. They copy. They defend what they've been told, and they call it intelligence. But real thinking is slow, painful, uncertain, and rare. And if you're not willing to challenge your own mind, you'll live inside someone else's. Stay primal. You're tired, unmotivated, distracted, overthinking. But none of that changes the fact that the work still needs to be done. Because nobody's coming to drag you out of bed. Nobody's going to push you through the pain. And the dream doesn't care how you feel. It only responds to action. So stop waiting, stop whining, and get to work. Stay primal. No one cares about your dream. No one's clapping for your effort. No one's coming to validate you. And that's your power. Because when no one's watching, you're free to build without ego, without applause, without begging for approval. And that's where real greatness is born. Stay primal. You will die alone, you will fail, you will rot in the same place forever if you don't do something different. Because if you sit in a rut and wait for a miracle, you'll die there, and no one is coming to pull you out. Not your friends, not your family, not some random savior. Only you. And if you ever want to be strong enough to help someone else, you better learn how to drag yourself out first. Because the truth is simple. No one's coming to save you. Save yourself. Stay primal. No one's going to save you from the weight in your chest. No one's going to knock on your door and fix the chaos in your head. And the longer you wait for someone to rescue you, the deeper you sink. So move anyway. Walk anyway. Crawl if you have to. But don't wait to be saved, because your survival is on you. Stay primal. No one's watching, no likes, no claps, no recognition. So why not skip it? Why not take the day off? Because the only one who needs to see is you. And if your grind dies without attention, it was never discipline, it was performance. Stay primal. You didn't build most of what you believe. You inherited it, absorbed it, got handed it by parents, teachers, culture, religion, media, and never once asked if it was real, if it was useful, if it was yours. And until you break that chain, you're not living, you're repeating. Stay primal. Patience isn't soft. It's a loaded weapon, because while they waste their time chasing quick highs, you're stacking power in silence, building pressure under control. And when the time comes, they won't see it coming. But you will, because you waited for the right moment to break everything. Stay primal. Fall ain't fatal. I land. I rise. Stay primal. Not everything is black and white. Not every loss is the end. Sometimes you fail, because there's a better path you never saw coming. You had to break to see it. You had to lose to level up. If you didn't fall, you never would have looked sideways. That detour might be the destination. So don't curse the failure. Study it. Sometimes the setback is the setup. Stay patient. Stay dangerous. Stay primal. She left, your girl walked out. And now you're staring at the pieces. Good. Now it's just you and the grind. No more distractions, no more illusions. Use the pain, let it burn through the weakness. Turn heartbreak into horsepower. They left, now you rise. Stack your wins, build your legacy. Let success haunt their memory. You weren't broken, you were forged. Stay focused, stay relentless, stay primal. The world screams for your attention. A constant barrage of noise, distractions. They are designed to weaken your resolve, to scatter your focus. But the warrior monk finds strength in the quiet, in the solitude, in the brutal honesty of facing himself. They won't understand why you pull back, why you refuse the easy path, why your phone lies silent. Let them wonder. Your journey is not for their comprehension, it's for your evolution. This is not a path for the soft, for those who seek comfort. This is for the one who hears the ancient drumbeat, the call of the primal self, the beast within. Sleep is the cousin of death, not because rest is wrong, but because if you stay asleep too long, you miss your moment, you miss your mission, and before you know it, you've wasted a lifetime dreaming instead of doing. So if you're not waking up with purpose, you're slowly dying in comfort. Wake up and move. Stay primal. Sometimes your enemies are closer than you think. Sometimes it's not the stranger who cuts you. It's the one who smiled, supported, stayed close. and waited for the perfect moment to slide the knife in your back. So stop thinking every handshake is loyalty. Stop thinking every smile is real. Because not every threat comes with a warning. Stay primal. You got that message? The one that said, "Your video changed me, your post helped, your words hit." And now what? You finally lit a spark, so don't dim it with comfort. Turn it into fire, and make sure the next message isn't the last. Stay primal. You want the win, the peace, the money, the freedom, but you want it now, without waiting, without sacrifice, and that's why you'll lose. Because greatness comes after hunger, after silence, after doing the right thing over and over when no one's watching and nothing feels good. And if you can starve now, you'll feast later. Stay primal. You've got to starve the fantasy and feed the work. Because dreaming all day feels good, but it gets you nothing. And the ones who win aren't the ones who visualize it. They're the ones who crawl through the dirt while everyone else sits and imagines. So stop feeding the dream and start feeding the discipline. Stay primal. Every time you hear that soft little whisper in your head, the one that tells you to skip the gym, sleep in, push the work to tomorrow, you better recognize it for what it is, the voice of decay. Because tomorrow isn't promised, and every excuse you make today stacks up into years of regret, until one day you're old, brittle, broken, and looking back at the mountain you never climbed, whispering the words that should haunt every man. Why didn't I? At least try. Stay primal. What happens in the dark always comes out in the light, because the truth doesn't stay buried forever. It waits, it watches, and when the time is right, it surfaces without mercy. And all the lies, the secrets, the masks, they burn under exposure. Because no matter how deep you hide it, the darkness always finds its way to the surface, and when it does, it doesn't knock, it breaks through. The most dangerous thing isn't what you don't know. It's what you think you know that just isn't true. Because the illusion of knowledge kills curiosity, blocks growth, and feeds arrogance. And if you never question what you've been taught, you'll never see what's real. So kill the assumption, challenge everything, and stay sharp enough to admit you don't know it all. Stay primal. Most men won't say a word, not because they're strong, but because they've been taught that silence is strength. So they suffer alone, break alone, and disappear without ever being seen. And what scares me most isn't the noise. It's the quiet ones, the ones carrying everything, with no one to call, no one to cry to, no one to fight beside. Because that kind of loneliness doesn't just hurt, it hardens you. And if you don't use it to rise, it will bury you. Stay primal. The number moved. Your first 100, your first 1,000, your first pull-up, your first check. And you're smiling like it's over. But that number isn't the win. It's the doorway. And if you stop now, that door closes and never opens again. Stay primal. There's no blueprint for your dream, no guaranteed steps, no perfect timing. You build it as you bleed. You figure it out through failure, through friction, through force. And if you're waiting for the map, you'll never move, because the path doesn't exist until you walk it. Stay primal. They just shared your work. Now more eyes are coming, more pressure, more questions. And if that scares you, good. It means it's real now. And the only way to meet the moment is to grow louder, stronger, sharper. Stay primal. You don't get to build a dream and keep everything else. Something has to die, whether it's comfort, sleep, distraction, or your old self. Because when they rested, you worked. When they watched, you built. And that sacrifice is the reason you'll win while they wonder how. Stay primal. They're gonna think you're crazy. They're gonna say it can't be done. They're gonna laugh, doubt, mock, and question everything. Good. Let them. Because they don't see the vision. They don't see what you see. And they're not supposed to. Because vision isn't proven in the beginning. It's revealed over time. And when it finally becomes real, they'll pretend they always believed. But you'll know the truth. Stay primal. They're going to hate you either way. If you fail, they'll laugh. And if you rise, they'll get quiet and bitter. So if the hate's guaranteed, then make it earned. Make it uncomfortable. Make it loud. Because the best revenge isn't clapping back. It's silence, distance, and undeniable success. Stay primal. The second you think you know is the second you stop growing, because you can't add anything to a full cup. And if your ego convinces you you've got it all figured out, then you're already behind the person who still questions everything. Stay primal. Sometimes you don't even have to look. They show you their loyalty in time, because time is the great revealer. And if you stay still long enough, they'll expose themselves without meaning to. They'll show their hands without saying a word. And as the old saying goes, time will tell. It always does. Tough love isn't cruelty. It's truth without comfort. Real growth starts when someone stops lying to you, and you stop lying to yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. No handouts, no pity. Just hard lessons and harsh mirrors. The world doesn't care how you feel. It measures what you do. So if you're soft, get harder. If you're broken, rebuild. Because tough love doesn't coddle. It carves you into something stronger. Stay sharp, stay savage, stay primal. You show up for everyone, but when you fall, there's no one there. They see your strength, but not the war it took to build it. They admire your calm, but never question the storm behind your eyes. You bleed in silence because you've been taught that bleeding out loud makes you weak. But it doesn't. It just makes you human in a world that only values the armor. Stay primal. You don't beat depression by pretending it's not there. You beat it by facing it, by using it, by turning that heavy silence into movement, by turning every dark thought into fuel. And if you can keep walking through that storm without breaking, then nothing can stop you, not even your own mind. Stay primal. A hammer doesn't build the house. You do. Just like AI won't build your mind. And if you start using tools to replace thinking instead of sharpen it, you lose the one thing that separates you from the herd. Your judgment, your awareness, your ability to question everything. The tools, the answers, the people around you, and most importantly, your own thoughts. Stay primal. Don't measure loyalty when you're winning. Wait until you're broken, until there's nothing left to offer. Because that's when the masks fall. That's when the real ones stay, and the fake ones vanish. And tough times won't just reveal your strength, they'll reveal theirs. Or the lack of it. So, when everything falls apart, pay attention. That's when truth shows its face. Stay primal. Just because they're always around doesn't mean they're your friends. Familiarity don't equal loyalty. Some people clap when you rise. Others wait for you to fall. They smile in your face, but study your weaknesses in silence. Not everyone in your circle is in your corner. Keep your tribe small. Keep your focus sharp. Because the closest ones can cut the deepest. So watch who you keep for company. Stay guarded. Stay ruthless. Stay primal. They say words don't hurt, and they won't unless you let them, unless you believe them, unless you make their weakness part of your identity. Because once a single link in your chain breaks, the whole thing collapses. And your power isn't in avoiding the words. It's in refusing to let them bend your frame. Stay primal. Write down the date, right now, the exact time, the exact day, and come back to it in a year. And when you do, you'll either look back with pride at how far you climbed, or with regret knowing you didn't move at all. And if that happens, there's only one person to blame. So if you see this, this is your sign to get up, get moving, and climb that mountain. Crawl if you have to, but don't stay still. Stay primal. You don't need yes men. You need people who'll check you when you're slipping, who'll tell you you've been lazy, soft, out of shape, wasting days and lying to yourself, not to hurt your feelings, but to keep you on track. Because if your circle tells you it's fine when you've let yourself go, then you're not just undisciplined, you're surrounded by enablers. And if they lie to your face while you fall apart, you'll wake up as a weak, fat, lazy version of what you were meant to be. Stay primal. That one sale, that one customer. That's all it takes to prove the dream is real. The product works, the vision has weight, and now you've got a choice. Let that tiny win make you soft, or let it awaken the savage who refuses to waste the proof. Stay primal. You finally saw it. The vein, the cut, the slight change. And that mirror gave you the nod you've been chasing. But don't get cute now, because that wasn't victory. It was a threat from your future self saying, keep going or lose this too. Stay primal. I don't care if you believe in Buddha, God, Jesus, or nothing at all. Because deep down, you know there's a higher purpose for you. You know you weren't put on this earth just to wither and die. And whatever you believe, you were built to climb, to conquer, to wake the beast inside you and move like something with fire in its bones. So stop sleeping on your own soul and start rising. Stay primal. Most people don't want truth, they want comfort. And they'll cling to easy answers, soft lies, and feel-good nonsense, just to avoid the sharp edge of reality. But if you care more about feeling good than being right, you'll stay blind and weak forever. Stay primal. You're going to fail first, and that's not a glitch. It's the price, because nobody builds something real without breaking first, without falling, doubting, hurting. And if you can't eat that failure and keep moving, you don't deserve what's at the top. So stop thinking you're the exception and start proving you can suffer for it. Stay primal. You weren't losing, you just got impatient. Because the real reward always hides behind silence, behind time, behind boredom. And the ones who win aren't the strongest. They're just the ones who didn't walk away right before the breakthrough. Stay primal. Great, right? No pain, no pressure, everything feels easy, and that should terrify you. Because when comfort shows up, progress dies. And if nothing hurts, nothing's changing. Stay primal. Your dream is heavy. It was never meant to be easy. It was meant to test if you're strong enough to carry it. And most people fold under the weight. They talk, they wish, they post, but they don't grind. And if you're not willing to get crushed for it, you're not ready to rise from it. Stay primal. If the only ideas in your head come from a feed, a trend, a headline, or a post, then you're not thinking, you're just recycling. And the scariest part is you don't even realize it, because the algorithm isn't built to make you wise, it's built to make you easy to control. Stay primal.